asking, come with me. I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know. About to see the world in action, what we can be. Life with no distractions. We'll get away. This is what we waited for.
Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, my name's Ashton.
I'm Jonathan.
And along with our son Jack, we're the Black Forest family. So in today's video, we're actually going to be talking to you about a topic that is near and dear to our hearts. And that's why we believe that the German cycling culture is wonderful for families.
So if you've caught some of our earlier videos, it is no surprise that Ashton and I are bicycle fanatics. I've been working in the cycling industry since 2012. I've been racing bikes really since 2004. And I've been riding bikes kind of really, before I was able to walk.
And all of that has kind of translated to us really getting involved in the cycling culture in our home city of Freiburg. Because you see, here in Germany, cycling isn't a niche hobby like it kind of is back in the United States. On the contrary, Germans actually own 72 million bicycles, which means that nearly all of the 82 million people who live in Germany own a bicycle.
So for families looking to teach their children to enjoy the outdoors, to be on their own, and to really gain a lot of responsibility, the German cycling culture has really everything that they need.
So today's video is actually going to be a little bit different. We're going to try something out that's a little bit new, so bear with us a little bit. While we're here in our home recording this video talking about German cycling culture, we're actually going to have a split screen where you also join us on a little cycling adventure in our hometown here in Freiburg. We hope that this is a really fun and illustrative way where we can not only share with you our experiences of German cycling culture, but also give you a peek into what that actually looks like once you hit the road on two wheels.
Nice and foggy? Yeah, you had a good bike ride, didn't you?
Hey, bud.
Hey.
Hey guys, so we're actually here this weekend at the Mundenhof, which is Freiburg's local zoo. We've been wanting to take Jack here as a little mini celebration into his birthday. Although actually it's about 2 weeks away, but the weather's been super touch and go for the past month now.
Yeah, it was a blue sky when we left our house. We thought it would be here too, but it's just fog and cold and my hands are completely frozen.
But hey, I'll take it over the rain that we've had for the last 2 weeks. So we're gonna take advantage of it and show Jack some animals.
Yeah, let's go.
So as you just saw from that little clip of us heading off to the zoo in Freiburg, it is so easy to navigate around the city by bicycle. In fact, our city of Freiburg boasts that more than a third of all of the routes throughout the city are covered by bicycle paths or lanes, offering in total more than 400 kilometers of safe, easily accessible cycling paths here in the city alone.
So an example of this bike path that we took today to our little adventure called the Errands, or the FR1, is conveniently located running parallel with the Dreisam River. And this is what we took to the Mundenhof. So first off, it's beautiful. And it conveniently passes east to west through the city, and it does not have a single traffic light. But honestly, even off of this bike path, cyclists find excellent conditions thanks to the extensive network of cycling paths.
So there are also these things called Fahrradstraßes, which literally translates to bicycle street. And these are roads that are identified in Germany either by painting on the street or road signs that essentially makes cycling more attractive in these areas. On these roads, cyclists are actually allowed to ride side by side, and motorists are required to slow their speed and provide additional safety to bicyclists.
And although from the outside, Freiburg might look like a bubble of bicycle happiness, it doesn't even score at the top of Germany's most bicycle-friendly cities. There are an estimated 40,000 kilometers or 25,000 miles of long-distance bicycle paths called Fernradweg throughout Germany. So while you might have a wonderful infrastructure within cities that can get you around, these long-distance paths connect major city to major city to major city, virtually allowing you to traverse the entire country.
So coming to the Mundenhof today, we were expecting to have to pay a fee, but as it turns out, it was absolutely free.
So actually, this was one of those scenarios where it paid to come by bicycle. If you ride by car or bus, there's actually a parking fee, but bicycles are completely free. So one of the other reasons to love the bicycling network here in Freiburg.
Jack, look at the camels, bud. Look at those things.
That says they live to be 30 to 40 years old.
No way. Oh God, 700 kilos.
So I guess right now we're in the Asian continent.
Yeah, it looks like they break down this particular zoo by continent, and as you can see here in the Asian section, it's quite fitting because we're walking through a bamboo forest at the moment.
Which is definitely Ashton's favorite plant, most invasive plant imaginable.
Yeah, we had a few of these planted at our last apartment, and it seemed like our garden was a constant battle to keep these things in line.
No, every week there's like another half meter of bamboo everywhere. Oh look, we're back in North America, we're home again.
Yeah, that's a pinto. That's a pinto horse, Jack.
So, fun possible fact, we just watched a YouTube video and they said that Germany is home to the most zoos in the world.
Yeah, but what wasn't really super clear was whether if they meant it was the most zoos per capita or the most number of zoos overall. And we don't really know why, so if you're German and you're watching this video, if you have a clue, leave it down in the comment section below. Oh, yeah, he has an orange, he's eating lunch.
Alright, so despite the aroma of poo everywhere, we've actually worked up an appetite.
Yeah, and it actually looks like there's a few different options here, so let's go grab some lunch.
So the portions are definitely massive, but this looks delicious. So as you just saw with our visit to the Mundenhof, our trip was actually the most advantageous to do by bicycle. In many German cities, cars are often just slow and clumsy modes of transportation. Bicycles are small and nimble, and they can navigate a city much more freely than a car. As a matter of fact, to get around Freiburg, really anywhere point to point, you will get there faster by a bicycle than you will with a car. For me going to work, I can get to work in half of the time by bicycle than with driving a car, in a fraction of the stress.
But I think it's important to mention here that bicycles aren't just a convenient mode of transportation in Germany. Rather, it's actually just part of the culture. In Germany, it's extremely common for both parents and their young children to navigate the city by bicycle. Whether it's young children heading to school, mothers taking their little ones to Kita, or just getting your everyday errands done, bicycles are actually by far the most common mode of transportation to get the job done.
The German cycling culture doesn't stop with just children and parents. It is very common these days to see elderly couples out in the countryside enjoying the sun with matching clothes and matching e-bikes. The industry that I work in, e-mobility, is massive. It is exploding, and we cannot make enough to fill the orders that are coming in. So this really opens the door to multi-generational family excursions with the exploding e-bike market, because now it's not just pedal power. There's a motor and a battery, meaning pulling bicycle trailers with children, a cargo bike with your dog and your child. You can get anywhere you need to go now with e-mobility. So if you watched one of our last videos where we went up to the Schluchsee, you would have seen that there are actually e-bike charging stations up in the High Black Forest.
Yeah, even in the more remote locales, you'll actually find that now, in addition to bicycle parking, there's special parking places for e-bicycles to get a quick battery recharge. It's pretty cool.
Well, we'd love to stay here all day, and we easily could. We have a lot of errands we need to run today, so it is back to the bikes.
Coming up, are you ready to go? We can take a ride, we can take it slow. Yeah, well, it's my law, I'ma let you be the boss, 'cause I'll go where you go. I'll take you to a place we can see it all. Step off the edge, I can break your fall. Yeah, well, it's my law, I'ma let you be the boss, 'cause I'll go where you go. When you fall down, I'll get you back up again. The things you try are things that you won't regret. We are kings of the world, and tonight is our playground. We are kings of the world, and anywhere it's homebound. We are kings of the world.
Now, while bicycles are clearly very fun to get you to some more exciting adventures like heading off to the zoo, they're not solely just reserved for a good time. They're actually an essential tool for doing things like running errands and everyday tasks. As you just watched in that last clip, we frequently do our errands by bicycle. And I think that has to do in a large part because getting around here in the city is incredibly safe.
So as an American who lives in Germany, I can tell you there is a huge difference culturally of how bicyclists are accepted. In the United States, it can be downright dangerous riding your bicycle on the road. From where I used to live in the United States, I would never put Jack in a bicycle trailer and try to ride through one of the main thoroughfares through town.
Yeah, and I think the other big piece of that too is that car drivers in the United States aren't necessarily looking for cyclists. Because they're not so common, you don't necessarily expect them to be there. So even if you're a good-willed-natured person, you may not think about looking for them before you just go ahead and make that right-hand turn. Whereas here in Germany, it's extremely intuitive.
So in Germany, it is required by law to pass cyclists at a minimum of 1.5 meters within city limits and 2 meters outside of city limits. Although this is a common rule in many countries, from my experience, Germany follows this really 99% of the time. At least where we live.
And you know, I'd like to think that this has to do, at least in part, with how cycling culture is actually well integrated into the driver's courses to obtain your Führerschein, which I think really contributes to the overall safety of cycling in Germany. You know that the people in the cars are generally looking out for you, which as a parent is really nice.
And because of the rate of cyclists in Germany are so high, it's very possible that person passing you in the car is also somebody who commutes by bicycle or rides one recreationally. So it really is kind of a community.
Follow me away, 'cause we can't stay here. Let yourself go, you got nothing to fear. You'll never be alone, let the highway be your home, 'cause I'll go where you go.
There's literally 3 pieces. I don't think we need that.
Fall down, I'll get you back up again. The things you try are things that you won't regret. We are kings of the world, and tonight is our playground. We are kings of the world, and
So clearly we are so excited to watch Jack grow and begin to embrace this cycling culture. Although he's just a little bit little to have a kick bike of his own. Cycling culture in Germany starts from a very young age. Even little ones who are going by bicycle, whether they're on a kick bike or an actual pedal bike, it's totally common to see the little ones riding down the sidewalk with their parent following slowly but close behind on the street. From an early age, they learn to navigate the city safely and easily on 2 wheels.
And actually, before the age of 10, it's very common for police officers in cities to go to schools and give very intensive courses for children to learn the rules of the road by bicycle and provide them an official bicycle license.
Which is so sweet.
And actually, where we live in Freiburg, there is a bicycle training course complete with road signs, with roads for children to practice and learn the rules of the road so they can ride safely.
Okay, so that wraps up our last point.
Hold on, I got an idea.
That's style right there. That's what that is.
This is what brought you to Germany. So, German cycling culture is not limited to just warm and sunny days. All days are cycling weather.
Even when it's wet and rainy.
Or snowy.
So, even though Freiburg is known as the sunniest city in Germany, we're about ready to enter into the winter months, which means that this little getup here that Jonathan has on,
I get to wear it for weeks at a time. So, I am dressed in a rain jacket, complete with rain pants, and shoe covers, all seams sealed.
But while this is clearly a very nice getup that Jonathan has on, it's probably a good thing to note here that this type of attire isn't just reserved for adults. If you caught our video on Kitas in Germany, one of the things that I mentioned was that the children are actually required to dress for all weather types, including bicycling to school.
So our favorite German phrase, whether it applies to cycling or hiking or just being outside in general, there is no bad weather, just bad clothing choices.
Okay, so I'm sure Jonathan's getting a little bit warm in this rain outfit. So I think this is probably a good point for us to wrap up this video.
Yeah, but let us know what you think about German cycling culture down in the comments. Do you commute by bike? What do you think?
And if you like today's content, we would love it if you hit that thumbs up button. And for more content from the Black Forest family, hit that subscribe button.
So until then, bis bald.
Tschüss!